Welcome to Rolling Hills Radio. Join us for an hour of music and conversation from Shawbucks in Jamestown, New York. Tonight's guests are Shawn Rowe and Andy Cohen. Now please welcome our host, Ken Hardley with Matt Grunquist.
Once I lived the life of a millionaire. Spent all my money, I just did not care. Took all my friends out for a good time. Bought bootleg whiskey, champagne, and wine. Then I began to fall so low. Lost all my good friends, I did not have nowhere to go. I get my hands on $1 again. Gonna hang on to it till that eagle grins. Oh no, nobody knows you when you're down and out. In your pocket, not one penny. As for friends, you don't have any when you finally get back on your feet again. Everyone wants to be your old long-lost friend. Said it's mighty strange without a doubt. Nobody knows you when you're down and out. In your pocket, not one penny. As for friends, oh, you don't have any. When you finally get back on your feet again, everyone wants to be your old long-lost friend. Said it's mighty strange without a doubt. Nobody knows you. Nobody knows you. Nobody knows you when you're down and out.
Rolling Hills Radio is funded in part by the New York State Council on the Arts Decentralization REAP Grant Program, with support from the New York State Legislature and Governor Andrew Cuomo, and administered by the Tri-County Arts Council. Rolling Hills is underwritten in part by the Jamestown Gazette, the hometown newspaper with good news. Sponsorship is provided by the National Comedy Center, the Great Blue Heron Festival, Lost Recording Studio, and Cranky Play Productions.
Thank you, Julia Cecil Hanley, and welcome to Rolling Hills Radio. We're brought to you from Shawbucks, the club concert venue nestled in the entertainment district of the city of Jamestown, right across the street from the National Comedy Center. On Rolling Hills Radio, you'll hear grassroots Americana music from a wide range of genres. This episode, we have as our guests two outstanding representatives of American music. We have a man who plays pre-war, another traditional blues style, as well as a distinct instrument that you've probably never heard before. But first, we have a singer-songwriter who began right out of the musical gate as a kid with American blues influences like Muddy Waters and Howlin' Wolf, as well as Marvin Gaye, the Beach Boys, Elvis Presley, this inspiration became the blues folk and distinctive soulful sound of his own music. He is becoming a much talked about and contemporary folk blues singer-songwriter. Now, with Married to the Lord, please welcome Shawn Rowe to the Rolling Hills radio stage.
Ain't nobody gonna take me for an angel. I'm just flying with the crows, while all the saints are sleeping in heaven. I'm gonna be down on the altar, taking off your clothes. I don't wanna get you lost in my religion. I don't wanna be a stone, but give me the keys, we won't live forever. I don't wanna drive you crazy, I just wanna drive you home. Oh, oh yeah, oh girl. I know you're thinking that you cannot surrender without selling out your soul. But if holy water won't keep us together, I'm gonna find out what you love, I'm gonna put it in the bowl. So you see a vision in the sky, but are you really gonna live it whole? Your mom and pass you by. Oh, you got me wondering. I know you're feeling that you had love before me. I know you'd like to cut the cord, but don't fly so high before I can touch you. I need your body before you get married to a Lord. Oh, oh, oh yeah, oh girl.
Shawn Rowe. Wow. Now, Shawn, you started off your musical career, if I got this right, playing bars at the age of 18.
I was a little older than that.
Okay.
But yeah, I did start out in the bars. Started out playing open mics too. That
Oh,
was
yeah,
big,
yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Had you written songs at that point, or were you playing covers? How did that go?
Well, the first song I ever wrote was when I first saw Rocky III when I was 8. And my mom bought me a Fisher-Price typewriter. The first thing I did with it was write my first song, which was a rip-off of Eye of the Tiger. That was my influence, was that song. So they weren't great lyrics, to be honest with you, but it was my first crack at the gig. So, yeah, that was my first one.
That's some inspiration there. Fisher-Price typewriter, Rocky III. I mean,
pretty industrious.
It was destiny right there. Yeah. Look at it, and then you start your first album at the age of 27, right? 2003.
First album that, I had done a lot of recordings before that, but they weren't really for anybody else but me and my buddies, you know. We played in our basement.
Yeah.
Driving our parents crazy, you know, right by the washing machine. And,
of course.
Yeah. You know, it's like when you're a kid and, you know, you think you're a lot better than you actually are. You know, you're your best audience, you know, when you're that age. But,
yeah, absolutely. Then you got involved with recording contracts with record companies and things like that. How did that change your life? How did that change your creativity? What happened with all that?
Well, that happened much later in life. Usually, you know, when you get on a label, you're, you know, typically to get into the business like that, get management label, usually kind of young. Usually go for people that are, you know, kids starting out and they can shape you and all that.
Don't know any
I
better.
was already 34 years old, you know, when I got into the business. So I wasn't, but there wasn't much you could do with me at that point, you know. I just got lucky to get with people who believed in what I did, you know.
Right. Very good. Well, you've got another song for us, right, Shawn?
Yeah, sure. This is called I Won't Run.
I Won't Run. Ladies and gentlemen, Shawn Rowe.
Thank you. I could get used to Texas, get a job, go work for your dad. I know he's not a drunk, he just makes the wine look bad. You hit my solar plexus, where on my guitar, my 135. You can hang me by the strings, but I'm never gonna leave your side. Well, don't you go thinking that I was ever lying. I might be a fool, but I ain't dumb. Do you remember when your old what left you crying? I said I won't break your heart and I won't run. My face is only for mothers, but I age better than wood, and I got the right hands, baby, that work so good. I know that man left you broken, and the scar he put on your lip is staring back at you, and if you ever need to jump this ship, well, don't you go thinking that I was ever lying. I said I might be a fool, but I ain't dumb. Do you remember when your old one left you crying? I said I won't break your heart and I won't run. Baby, I won't run. Baby, I won't run. Baby, I won't run. Baby, I won't run. I said I won't break your heart and I won't run.
Baby, I won't run. Baby, I won't run. Baby, I won't run. I said I won't break your heart, and I won't run.
Shawn Rowe. Well, next we have a man whose music is greatly diverse. What it has all in common is that it is American roots music from the 20s to about the mid-50s. You're about to hear Piedmont blues, country blues, ragtime, old time, and more. He is a true musicologist. He's been referred to as a walking, talking, folk blues roots music encyclopedia. He's a true musicologist, spent time with some of the greats of American music. And here he is with If I Had My Way. Please welcome Andy Cohen to the Rolling Hills Radio stage.
If I had my way, if I had my way in this wicked world, if I had my way, tear this whole building down. You can read about Samson, called from his birth he was the strongest man ever had lived on earth. One day Samson was walking alone, looked on the ground, saw an old jawbone. Well, he reached out his arm, God knows it broke like thread. When he got through moving, 3,000 was dead. Good God, if I had my way, if I had my way, if I had my way, tear this whole building down. Samson, he journeyed down to Gaza one day. He met a lion while he was on his way. He looked that lion straight in the eye, said, this day one of us has got to die. Now Samson stepped back, the lion attacked. Samson, he jumped up on that lion's back. Now you read about that lion killed a man with his paw. Samson got his hands in that lion's jaw. Well, he read that beast, God knows he killed him dead. And the beast made honey in the lion's head. If I had my way, if I had my way, if I had my way, tear this whole building down. She was fine and fair. She had good looks, God knows, and coal black hair. Delilah, she gained old Samson's mind. First he saw this woman, she was a Philistine. Delilah, she sat down on Samson's knee. Tell me where your strength lies, if you please. She spoke so fine, she talked so fair. Samson said, Delilah, cut off my hair. You can shave my head, clean as my hand. My strength come back like a natural man. If I had my way, if I had my way, if I truth. If I had my way, if I had my way, if I had my way, tear this old building down. Woo!
Andy Cohen. Great stuff, Andy. Now, if I have this right, you got an anthropology degree, a master's in anthropology from Kent State University.
Yes.
And tell us what you did your master's thesis on.
I studied the thumbs of 94 blues men and women from 13 states, birth dates ranging from 1873 to 1940, to see if they extended them like this or if they pinched them close together like that. It's like knowing more and more about less and less until you know everything about nothing.
That's great. Now, I'd like to ask you about your particular picking style, but that's fruitless because you know them all. Right? Give us a little bit
I
of
don't
Reverend
really,
Gary Davis.
I'm like the guy that can, paint the Mona, that goes to the museum with an easel and a set of brushes, paints the Mona Lisa, and then he turns around and paints the water lilies. Then he
Okay.
goes and does a pointillist painting, I just have an affinity for old-time Southern music, and
yeah.
and I can kind of sound like pretty much anybody, that I learned about when I was a kid.
Well, sound like Mississippi John Hurt for us right now.
Okay, Mississippi John Hurt, he was one of the few that played with two fingers. I'm going to have to kind of stretch it here. You'd know him from the Maria Muldaur song. She covered one of his songs, Richland Woman Blues. Excuse me. That's better. With a red lipstick and a poppy red rouge, shingle bob haircut, and a shot of good booze. Hurry down, sweet daddy, come a blowing your horn. If you come too late, sweet mama will be gone. Come along, young man, everything's setting right. Old man won't be home till next Saturday night. Won't you hurry down, sweet daddy, come a blowing your horn. Come too late, mama will be gone. Well, a rooster crowed, cock-a-doodle-doo. Richland woman say, any doodle-doo. Won't you hurry down, sweet daddy, come a-blowing your horn. Come too late, mama will be gone. Hurry down to the dress shop, yeah, the one that looks best. Your own pretty mama, you want a brand new dress. Won't you hurry down, sweet daddy, come a-blowing your horn. You come too late, sweet mama will be gone.
Andy Cohen with the Rich Woman Blues, Rich Landing. All right, we'll be back with much more from Andy Cohen and Shawn Rowe. Here's I'll play one of the classics, folk blues that might make you squirm. So hang on for a minute. We'll be right back.
You've been listening to Rolling Hills Radio with Ken Hardley, episode 91. If you would like to be part of our live studio audience, log on to rollinghillsradio.org to get your ticket today or call the Rolling Ticket Hotline at 716-294-0416. We'll be back after the break with more from Andy Cohen and Shawn Rowe. The second half of our show begins in just a minute. Rolling Hills Radio is brought to you in part by the Jamestown Gazette, as well as the National Comedy Center, named by Time Magazine as one of the world's greatest places. Sponsorship is also provided by the Great Blue Heron Festival, Axiom Printing, and the Lakeside Ledger. If you would like to be included on the Rolling Hills email distribution list, send your email address to ken@rollinghillsradio.org. To hear or view this episode and all past episodes of Rolling Hills Radio, log on to rollinghillsradio.org. You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And now, back to Rolling Hills Radio.
Thank you, Julius Isla Hanley. We have lots more to go here from Jamestown, New York. We're broadcasting right up the hill from the banks of the serene Chattahoochee River. Dwight Yoakam said this. He said, ironically, the success I've experienced at country radio has left me ostracized from pop and other formats of radio. And he's explaining why non-commercial, listener and foundation-supported radio and TV are so vitally important. Otherwise, we may not ever be hearing artists like Daryl Scott, like John McEwen, like Robin and Linda Williams, Molly O'Brien, Dwight Yoakam, Shawn Rowe. We need to bring this kind of music. The audience deserves to hear this kind of music. This music must be available to the public, and it takes support to do that. That means Rolling Hills Radio depends upon sponsors, underwriters, and donations from people like you. And so you can log on to rollinghillsradio.org to send a donation to help us keep this program thriving. And we're on non-commercial stations, and one of the benefits of getting out of the mainstream is that you'll hear things that you otherwise would not hear. For example, I was listening the other day to our low-power radio station, and I found out that the blue whale can eat 500,000 calories with one bite, which I can actually do with salt and vinegar potato chips. So, Shawn Rowe is about to play another song for us. Ladies and gentlemen, Shawn Rowe with the song Toast.
We're cooked, we're toast, goodbye. My clothes so warm, down south I kiss your mouth. How can I describe the weather? It's never gonna reach your ear. So I better touch than try to tell you how to read the atmosphere. We're cooked, we're told goodbye. Your clothes so warm, down south I kiss your Don't think I can take a shower, but maybe in another year I could smell you in the morning hours from all the work we've done in here. I know you feel me. Oh, where was done reveal me. Oh, climbing the ceiling. Oh, I know you feel me. I let you fall and give me your all. I know you feel me. Oh, we're cooked, we're told goodbye. Our clothes so warm, dancing. I kiss your mouth. Thank you.
Shawn Rowe. Shawn, I saw a quote from you during an interview recently, and you said you are selling emotions with your songs. Can you tell us about that?
I said that?
Well, it might have been an interview with Cher. I get the two of you mixed up, but no,
Well, that's the line of business I'm in. You know, when you're writing a song and when you're performing, you're trying to connect. You know, so
Yeah.
you deal in emotions. You know, that's what it's about. If it doesn't happen, then you're not really doing the job. You know?
Okay, yeah, sure. And when you write songs, are you experiencing those emotions, or do you say, I want to make people...
Well, you're not experiencing them in real time usually,
Yeah.
at least for me. And I think other writers too, it's really hard to write something if you're going through some chaotic emotional roller coaster, because you need additional faculties in your brain happening that require a logical mind, to write a song.
You need some clarity.
Yeah, you do. So if there was emotion, it could have happened before, and then songwriting is more of a reflective process. You know?
Yeah.
But the idea is to make it seem that you are experiencing it in the moment, and that's the goal.
You do a great job at that too, Shawn.
Thank you.
Very well done. Here in today's entertainment world, there are lots of different kinds of venues that you can play, theaters, halls, and you do all that, but you also play house concerts. Yeah. Tell us about house concerts, and how do you feel about those? How does
I love them. It's for somebody like me, I love the intimacy of a small space because of the tangible connection you can have with somebody else. You know, it's a physical thing, and it's a spiritual thing too. But when you're in a room and you're playing music and it's live music, the proximity of somebody, an artist from you, really matters. It matters how high they are up on a stage. It matters how far they are back.
Yeah.
So I like the closeness of it. It's just me, though. Some people like to be, out in outer space and way out there, and I don't. I like to be close.
You like to connect.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have to get this question in too. You have a page on your website that says, "Can I eat this?" And I watched a little
You
bit.
can't eat the page.
Oh, I got that wrong.
Yeah.
There's a thing about
yeah.
like eating milkweed, for example.
Yeah. Part of what I do outside of music and outside of being a dad, and this sort of ties into being a dad too, but I forage. I'm a forager. So Yeah.
Yeah.
So I go out and harvest wild food. It's been a part of my life since I was a kid, and I'm always learning more about it. Learn with people who are experts, and it's so intertwined in my daily life that I can't to remove that. It'd be like taking my guitar away.
Wilderness is very important to you. You
Yeah.
spent a year in a
Yeah, I lived in Cherry Valley, New York, in the Catskill Mountains, and I went on I lived there for a year, and then I did a solo survival trek for 24 days out there.
Oh yeah. Great
Living in a
stuff.
giant loaf of bread made of grass, basically.
Well, would you play another song
Yeah,
for
sure.
us, Shawn Rowe?
Yeah, this is a song called Gabriel.
Gabriel. Ladies and gentlemen, Shawn Rowe.
I know you're tired, but our hands are in the fire. This ain't no time for dreaming. You'll snap that cosmic wire. We'll go crashing from a ceiling. You'll be crying, you'll be kneeling, you'll be wasted away. Your angel doesn't work for free anymore. Oh, Angel Gabriel, I hear just what you're saying. And I used to work for love, but I don't know just what I'm paying for. Could it really be that the river I see cannot take me home anymore? Oh, oh, right. Now before you shoot out the sun, before you conjure up the thunder, there must be some piece of gold, some kind of magic little number. You won't get so high if you keep asking why. There's a price at the top of the chain. There's only one way to fit through the door. Oh, Angel Gabriel, you're sticking like a sliver, and I only got one heart and such an underrated liver. Now go back to your boss, tell him I'm happy I've lost. I can't wait to get back to the blues. Oh, 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 Ray.
Shawn Rowe. Great stuff. And you can catch more of him on ShawnRowe.com with all of his merch and more music and what is it that you can eat and all that stuff. All right, we have Andy Cohen coming back with the Mississippi Heavy Water Blues by Barbecue Bob. Ladies and gentlemen, Andy Cohen.
1927. Barbecue Bob was from Atlanta. He played a 12-string that was made in New Jersey. And they called him Barbecue Bob because he played at a barbecue. You might remember him. He was Cat Juice Charlie's brother. Cat Juice Charlie was another maker of 78 Blues, Charlie Lincoln. Barbecue Bob's was Robert Hicks. They were half brothers. They had the same mom and two different dads. Oh, Bob, he was on his way from Atlanta to New York City to record his big hit. He had a bit of a hit with Barbecue Blues, and the B-side was an early celebration of Black Pride called Chocolate to the Bone, and he was going to make those records up in New York City, you know, for the OK Record Company. That was just the exact time when the Mississippi flood happened in Memphis in 1927. The white folks fled. They went to St. Louis and Chicago. The African American population of Memphis was forbidden to leave under martial law. They were conscripted to repair the levees. So by old Bob, you know, he's on the train, you know, practicing up, and the Pullman porter comes by and hands him a copy of the Chicago Defender, and he read all about it in the Chicago Defender, because their stories were made up by stringers all over the South. By the time he got to New York City, this is what he had to say. Walking down the levee, head hanging low, looking for my sweet mama, she ain't here no more. Why cry, Mississippi heavy water blues? Outlawed Lord, I'm so blue, house been washed away, trying how long till another payday. I cry, Mississippi heavy water blues. Standing here looking, all of this mud, gal got washed away in that Mississippi flood. Why cry, Mississippi heavy water blues? Plenty mud and water, don't need no water cold. What I need is my sweet mama, spin my jelly roll. Why cry, Mississippi heavy water blues? Thought I heard a moan on the Arkansas side. How long till my sweet mama ride? Why cry, Mississippi heavy water blues? Listen here, you men, one more thing I'd like to say. Ain't no women's around here, all been washed away. Why cry, Mississippi heavy water blues? I'm in Mississippi, mud all in my shoes. Gals in Louisiana got them high water blues. I cry, Mississippi heavy water blues. Lord, 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 Mississippi shaking, Louisiana sinking, whole town's ringing, Robert Hicks is singing. That's why I cry, Mississippi heavy water blues. That's why I cry, Mississippi heavy water blues.
Andy Cohen, Mississippi Heavy Water Blues.
Now,
Good
we're up
stuff,
here-
Andy. Good stuff. Okay, you're going to put on the other guitar now.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And we're going to get right to the next song.
Yeah. You wanted me to explain the difference between Piedmont style, which is east of the Appalachian,
Yeah. Yeah, let's
and
do
the
that real
deep
quick.
South style.
Yeah.
There's lots of them.
Okay, go ahead and play one for us.
Well, that one I played before, you know, the If I Had My Way, that's in Piedmont style. That's playing a guitar like a piano. Reverend Gary Davis, who taught me how to play the guitar, you know, he was a blind man who managed to make his way in the world just picking a guitar and preaching the word. He told me, he said, when you play a guitar, you want to play it like a piano. So you got to have 3 hands. This here is your fretting hand. You go all over the place with on the neck. And this, pointing to his thumb, that's your bass hand. You play all your bass notes with your thumb. And that's your treble hand, your index finger, with 4 fingers and a thumb, and 1 finger playing the melody and 1 finger playing the bass. Reverend Davis, he could sound just like a piano.
Great. Well, let's see how that goes. Ladies and gentlemen, go ahead and play it. Andy Cohen.
I'll do another Gary Davis piece for you. This one really sounds like a piano. He learned it from another blind guy down there in Greenville, South Carolina. A fellow named Willie Walker. Willie Walker's the only person who could be said to actually have taught Reverend Davis anything. The rest of it he made up by himself without being able to see it. Don't that sound like a piano?
Andy Cohen. Oh, yeah. Andy Cohen. Matt. Well, comedian Jackie Mason said, "It's no longer a question of staying healthy, it's a question of finding a sickness that you like." Well, there's the blues. If everything was exactly the way we want it in life, we'd be bored to death. Thanks to musicians like Andy Cohen and Shawn Rowe, we can be reminded of the human condition, and maybe we can look at it a new way, like finding a sickness that we like. Speaking of things like that, we're going to play now a murder ballad, which was big in the late 1800s, right, Andy? Mm-hmm. Murder ballads are part of the American music tradition, and this one's from the 19th century. It's been done by Pete Seeger, the Carter family, Joan Baez, Olivia Newton-John, and many more. It was in the 1973 film Paper Moon, and now we're going to be doing it. Please sing along with us. It's called The Banks of the Ohio. I asked my love to take a walk, just a little ways with me, and as we walked, we would talk all about our wedding day, and only say that you'll be mine in those others' arms entwined, down beside where the waters flow, on the banks of the Ohio.
I asked her live, she married me. Am I wife forever be? She only turned her head away and had no other words to say. I plunged a knife into her heart, and she thought she was going to rest. She cried, "Oh Willie, oh don't you murder me. I'm not prepared for eternity."
And only say that you'll be mine, and no other's arms entwined, down beside where the waters flow, on the banks of the Ohio.
Killed the only woman I loved because she would not marry me.
And only say beside where the waters flow down the banks of the Ohio. Down beside where the waters flow on the banks of the Ohio. Oh yeah! Thank you very much for sharing your time with us. Thank you, Andy Cohen. Thank you, Shawn Rowe. And Matt Gronquist. I'm Ken Hardley. We'll see you next time on Rolling Hills Radio.
You've been listening to Rolling Hills Radio, episode 91. Special thanks to Shawn Rowe and Andy Cohen. The Rolling Hills Radio cast and crew are producer and everything else, Kathy Hardley. Audio, Steve I Love Electricity Chappell. The man who can juggle one orange at a time, Diamond Dick Gould. Stage manager and picking up Dick's orange, Brianne Fidel. Eating an orange, Tom Fidel. Nicole, just what is in that travel cup, Chappell. Tylenol dispenser, Susan George. Ticket taker and computer avoider, Jim Goodling. And video and style consultants, Cranky Plate Productions. I'm Julia Cecil Hanley reminding you to get your flu shot before you get the flu. Please join us next time on Rolling Hills Radio with Ken Hardley.